I'm doing this video to basically just put some things out there that you probably been thinking about, or you probably heard or whatever. And I don't do videos and I don't talk about certain things and I don't put certain things out, but when people have slandered your name and made you look like a horrible person, then it's time for your truth to be told. So that's what I'm doing. I want to first talk about family and friends. Okay? We had a really rough time at one period in our lives. It's not like this was just an ongoing thing, like every year, every day we were struggling, going through it. No, this was one time in our lives where we had a really rough time. And like I said, I'm just putting it out there, and I'm not sugarcoating nothing, because nothing was sugarcoated when it came time for people to talk about me. I'm not trying to make things seem like it's all good when it's not. So I'm just telling it like it is. The time that we had a really rough time, we didn't have nobody at all. Nobody helped us at all. Nobody was there for us. My kids, daddy's side of the family, they didn't help. The grandmas, no. When I say nobody helped us at all. My husband, people didn't help nobody. But now all of a sudden, these same people who didn't want to have nothing to do with us, because a lot of people looked at us like we was worthless because we didn't have much, and a lot of people just they didn't want to have nothing to do with us. Okay, fine. But those same people who looked at us like we was worthless, all of those same people came and coming back. Why? People talked about us. I mean, people talk about everybody, but people really looked at us like we were just less than a grain of dirt on the ground. And now all these people running back. When my son, when I say my oldest son, I'm referring to baby Soulja. That's my oldest. When he was really starting to try to pick up his music career and get things going, nobody helped him. Not his family, not his friends, nobody. The people who live in my house is the only people who was behind him 100% plus. And it's real sad, and this is not something that makes me feel good at all. Even doing this video, I don't like this. But like I said, it's time for me to put my truth out there. But the main people who's supposed to or should be for you and there for you, which is family, most of the time those are the people who want to see you fall. And that's what's been happening and going on within my family for a long time. A very long time. And I'm just putting it all out there because a lot of people want to act like everything is okay, and some people want to act holier than thou, my sister, but a devil in disguise. But I choose to be quiet about a lot and don't say nothing about a whole lot. But then at the same time, people have said a whole lot about me, my husband, my kids, whatever. and painted a horrible picture of us, and the things that have been put out there, it's my family doing it. Now, if this don't pertain to you, don't worry about it. I'm not talking about you. If you know, we good. But for the ones I am talking about, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, okay, if that shoe fit, step. And I made the biggest mistake ever from being too nice. I didn't think it was a such thing as being too nice, but yeah, I was being too nice to a whole lot of people. I helped a whole lot of people out. I gave a lot of people money. I was just a walking ATM to a lot of people, even a listening ear, whatever. I was the come-to person. Everybody came to me for any and everything, but I couldn't depend on nobody. But come to find out, these same people who was running to me for everything was the same people who was preying on my downfall and our downfall. Family and so-called friends. That's crazy. But let me get back to I don't even know if I started, but let me talk about my two sons. Okay, Deontay is my second oldest, and then Cameron is the third. A lot of people have come to me about them saying that they've been telling them all kind of stuff about myself, my husband, and just a whole lot of lies in general. Okay, Cameron always wanted to follow behind baby Soulja. He idolized him. Everything he did, he wanted to do it too. And Deontay, who was older than Cameron, Deontay followed behind Cameron. So it was like the cycle kept repeating itself from when baby Soulja was a teenager. He was getting into a whole lot of trouble. Since Cameron wanted to be like him, then Cameron started. And since Deontay wanted to be like Cameron, Deontay started. So it was just like a cycle that kept repeating itself. Now, when Cameron was out in the streets doing all kind of stuff that he should not have been doing, and no, I did not know about half the things he was doing. It's not like I was just, because a lot of people was like I just let him do what he want to do or whatever. It was not like that at all. But when Cameron got out in the streets and he was gang banging, joint the gang and all that type of stuff like that, one minute he blood, the next minute he crip. Now I don't too much know about all that type of stuff or whatever, but I don't know if that's how the game go. I don't know or whatever, but that's what he was doing. And he was out there doing a whole lot, and so was Deontay. And they wanted to be wherever they could be, where they had no rules, where they can do what they want to do in whoever's house, and they just wanted total freedom. So this is why they got out and did a whole lot of things they was doing, because they didn't want to be where, to them, love is hate and hate is love to them. Okay, both of them been diagnosed with mental illness, and they just kind of backwards and confused. And to them, loving them and caring for them and doing things that families and parents should do, to them, that was hate. When they got out in the streets and did all kind of dirt, and people was harming them and stuff like that, To them, that was love. So they would run away all the time. I promise y'all, I got a stack of cards from where each time they ran away, I had to make a runaway report. Because here in the state of Georgia, they don't play no games with stuff like that. But let that mama make one wrong move and she'll get arrested. I know, it almost happened to me. But when Deontay and Cameron was out gang banging or whatever they was doing, because they wanted that total freedom, they would tell people that I was putting them out. They was getting abused in my house. Deontay would go and tell people that he got put out because he was gay. None of that stuff never happened. Never happened. And they would run from house to house with the same lies. But when those lies ran out, or they would cause trouble, because they cause trouble each and every place they go, and things didn't go the way they wanted it to go in somebody else's house, and they couldn't run somebody else's house like they want to run everybody's house they step foot in, they would just go on to the next person with the same lies. But then they had to step it up. They had to start telling bigger and bigger lies, a lie that would top another lie to get them what they wanted. And that's what they was doing. And a lot of people, I got a lot of death threats and a lot of inbox and messages, voicemails. Wait a minute, it's going dead. Okay, yeah, I got a whole lot of all that from people that they went lying to. And a lot of people looked at me just like I was just a horrible parent. And basically, people just painted this horrible picture of me and my husband that is just totally not true. And when they would go and lie to people and tell them all kind of stuff, that made them feel good. It made them feel real good. And okay, let me tell y'all about this. Okay, it was just so much happening. They just had a whole lot of stuff happening and going on. Now I know y'all probably heard this because Baby Soulja put it in one of his songs. But okay, Deontay was on probation. They was always in and out of trouble. And Deontay was on probation, so he had to report to court. I forgot what day or whatever. It was like every week or whatever. I don't know. But Deontay was at home, and me, my husband, Baby Soulja, and my two younger kids, Barbie and Fame Boy. Barbie and Fame Boy. Hey, y'all. But anyway, it was just so much going on. And we just said, we need to take a trip. We just need to get away for a while. And at this particular time, Cameron was on house arrest. He had an ankle monitor, and he was just so out of control. He cut the ankle monitor off, and he was on the run. So we end up going to Myrtle Beach. Deontay kept calling me. He just kept calling me. Where y'all at? Okay, where y'all going after that? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. The type of mama I was, I did not care if my kids was right or wrong. I was behind them 100%. If they was lying, I didn't care. I was behind them 100%, which was a huge mistake. Because that taught them to manipulate and lie and do whatever they wanted to do, and they felt like I would be behind them no matter what. That's how it was, y'all. I'm just being honest. And it took a lot for me to even do this video and even put this stuff out. But if you was in my shoes and it's like the whole world looking at you like you a horrible parent when you know you have done everything that you can do plus to take care of your kids, that don't feel good. I'm over it all now, but at that time it was a rough situation. But since things happening the way they happening now and they continue to happen, that's why I'm talking. But Deontay was calling me, and I didn't really think nothing of it because, like I said, I was that mother who believed any and everything her kids said or did. It might sound messed up, but that's how I was. And I was blind to a whole lot of things that they was doing. And my husband used to always try to tell me things they was doing, but I didn't believe him. I believed my kids until they started crossing me. So we at Myrtle Beach or whatever, having a good time. Well, before we got to Myrtle Beach, Deontay just kept calling me. And I'm like, okay, but before we even left, my husband was like, we need to put some stuff up somewhere. And he was putting stuff all up in the attic, and he was hiding stuff. And to me, that sounded kind of crazy. Because like I said, I was always behind my kids. I didn't care who said what, who did what, whatever. If my kids told me somebody did, said whatever, I'm not asking no questions. Let's go. That's how I was. Not good. Now, I'm not speaking for everybody else because I know y'all coming with the comments, whatever, but frankly, I don't even care. Because when you've been through so much, how I've been through so much, it's like nothing even fazed you. So I'm at that point in my life now. But that's the type of mother I was. If my kids said it, whatever, I believed it. So my husband started hiding stuff and all this type of stuff. And I'm just like, is it really necessary? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay. So Deontay kept calling me. And then finally, he called me. He was trying to act real dramatic, but I can just hear the sound of his voice that it was fake. And he told me somebody broke in the house. I'm like, what? And then that's when everybody who was with me, my husband, my other kids, they all was like, what happened? And I said, somebody broke in the house. And I'm asking Deontay, okay, how did they get in? Did they kick the door in? Did they break windows? How did they get in? He said he don't know. But little that he knew, I didn't think it was really necessary, but my husband felt like we needed to install some cameras. So that's what we did. And when Deontay said somebody broke in the house, I was ready to leave. I was ready to pack up at that very moment and leave. But then I'm like, okay, he said they stole everything. He just kept saying everything. They stole everything, the house in a mess, all this. So I was ready to leave. But then I'm like, okay, the damage already done. If they stole everything or whatever, we might as well go ahead and finish out our trip. And that's what we did. So when we did get home, Deontay was mad with us as if the tables was turned, as if the shoe was on the other foot. We asking him what happened and all that, and we looking around the house and we see, like he said, they stole everything. Everything. So when we finally reviewed the cameras, it was Cameron and his get-along gang. Yes, my own sons robbed me. My own sons, and that's crazy. But now, that's not even a third of the things that happened. But it's crazy. But anyway, so we look at the camera or whatever, and we see Cameron and all his friends. They having a good time, stealing everything. So, but okay, before we even got home, I told Deontay to make a police report. He said the phone wouldn't dial. I'm like, what you mean the phone won't dial? He said the phone won't dial 911. I'm like, okay, well didn't you just call me? If you called me, why won't the phone dial 911? This is how they used to manipulate me, because I believed every single word they said. And it sounds crazy, but I used to believe everything that flew out of their mouth. I used to believe it. So that's just one incident, okay? I can just get into so much. Cameron tried to have baby Soulja killed, his own brother. We found messages where he was talking back and forth to people trying to have him killed. And then he was trying to have him and my husband beat up